Good evening, everybody. It is the 9th of January. This is day 9 of Permission to Breathe. Kelly Davis, NLP practitioner, timeline therapist, hypnotherapist, and life and business coach. I had such a busy day. I'm busy studying, and I've finished the last of my sales today and packing. But I almost forgot to do a video for you. So day 9, Permission to Breathe. Permission to Breathe was a challenge to myself to do a minute of conscious breathing on the 1st of January, building up by 1 minute a day until the 31st of January, where we do 31 minutes of conscious breathing. And what it was about was spending some time consciously going within and seeing what comes up in terms of feelings, emotions, physical feelings in the body, and just in general, just giving ourselves a bit of space, because obviously with COVID, one of the things that it affects is the lungs. And I think that it's important. One of the breathing exercises that I put on in the last couple of days is belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing, which is very useful for COPD and asthma, and just to strengthen the diaphragm and the lungs. But just in general, it was more about just having a sense of well-being. We're in a very difficult time where we're focusing on a lot of crazy stuff outside ourselves. And I think my goal behind it was for us to focus purely on ourselves and what's going on inside and just block out the world for a while. And do you know, in this time, the one thing I realized is when I was watching Sadhguru, and he was talking about, is it Leela? Which is play, and how during this difficult time there aren't too many laughs going on at the minute. And you know, the breathing could be what I said is in the last few little recordings. Conscious breathing could be anything. It could be consciously drawing, consciously dancing, consciously singing, consciously and actively taking part in something where your full attention is focused on that. And that includes things like playing with your kids, going outside for a walk with the dog and throwing the ball, or whatever you want to do, whatever it is. But really paying attention and just letting yourself go in that moment and enjoying it, and just letting stuff come up. Go for a run. If you go for a walk and it's freezing cold, feel the freezing cold, you know. I've had a really good few days and I'm feeling incredibly positive about life. I have a few big moves coming, and I'd like to see, you know, I've been reading so much COVID stuff, and the posts on Facebook and the way people are feeling about life in general. I think with something as big as this, we constantly feel like we have no control over anything. And therefore we get anxious, we feel depressed, we feel nervous that, you know, our center of control has been taken away. And what I want to remind people is that that is not the truth. The one thing that you do have control over is yourself. The one thing you do have control over is your response to life and anything that is happening. And if you focus purely on that and changing what you can change within yourself, focusing on positivity, focusing on the joy in life, focusing on the recollections of memories that are good memories, good things that have happened. You know, COVID's only been going on just over a year. In fact, we've only been really properly aware of it for about 9 months. This is a tiny blip in your lifetime. I'm 43 years old, and I sort of always relate the story. I went through drug addiction about 11 years ago, but it was a very serious drug addiction for 3 years of my life. And what happened is that I became so focused on those 3 years that every year since then has been based on what happened in those 3 years. But the amazing things that I did with my life before that period and all the amazing things I've done since far outweigh that 3-year period. So if you can have a look at this period of COVID as just a small blip in the sea of your life, concentrate on and hang on to all the amazing things you've already done, all the amazing experiences you've had, the joys, the happiness. And then the other possibility is to look at, all right, your plan for 2020, your plan for 2021 isn't what you thought it was going to be. Where is the flexibility in that to create something even better than you'd even thought of? We limit ourselves with thinking, this is what I want to do. There's no peripheral vision. It is this dogged looking forward and going, I had a plan and this is the only plan and I'm inflexible in that. If we can take anything from COVID, is that we have all had to become a lot more flexible, and that in our flexibility is where our strength lies and our power. There is power and strength in flexibility. And the greater your flexibility, the greater your power and strength, and the greater your success. And so for me right now is about recreating and reinventing my life in a way that is suitable for the way the world is going forward, and to make sure that I come up with a model that works specifically in the world as it currently stands. That doesn't mean 6 months from now that same model will stand. 6 months from now I might completely change my mind and change the direction of where I'm going. But for now I have a goal and an idea of what I want to do, and how I think that fits into the current world. The world is changing so rapidly daily. If you are not flexible and you are not willing to go along, your feelings of anxiousness, your feelings of feeling stuck, feeling controlled will come up. And the fears that are triggered by that will also come up with it. And they're going to hold you back. So my thing for today is, when you go into your conscious breathing tomorrow, which is now 10 minutes, really pay attention to where you think you want to be. Let the possibilities come up while you are doing that breathing. See what comes up for you in terms of what could be possible. What else could be out there? If you can't do your job, or you can't do your life in a certain way and the way that you thought it needed to be done, how else can your life be done instead? What are the possibilities? And you might come up with, or you might allow the information to come to you of a life that is far better than what you'd ever dreamed. And your creative processes may be far better than what they ever were. Give yourself the space, do the breathing, give yourself the time. That's my message for today. And have a little fun while you're doing it. It's not all doom and gloom, you know. The world hasn't blown up yet. And thanks for joining me. If anybody is looking for support, coaching, therapy, whatever you need, you can book through my Facebook account, Kelly Davis Coaching and Therapies. And I am online, coaching online at the minute. I am set up for doing that if you want to have a chat. And payment through PayPal. Otherwise, please, if you found any of these videos useful, please like, share, or subscribe on the YouTube or in the Facebook. I just feel like there's a message that needs to get out there, that life is not as serious as what we're making it right now. With all the seriousness aside, I think that there are ways that we can make it lighter. Let's put it that way. And if you're looking for some support, let me know. Cool bananas. I'll chat to you all tomorrow. 10 minutes. Come back with feedback on how you're doing on the permission to breathe and whether it's actually been useful to you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.